and welcome to my channel. I'm all excited about this one. Okay, this is part 2 of the haunted house. One day it was like me and my young girlfriend. I was probably about 15 years old. Um, and my parents sold the house to another couple with kids. And they ended up breaking up, getting a divorce, and moved out and sold the house again. Then another set of people came in. Well, I went to see my friend that I grew up with, and she says, "Hey, you want to go over to their house?" I said, "No, I don't want to go in there," because after all the years living there when I was a kid, I was scared of that house. Every time I just drove by it, I would get the creeps like somebody was watching me. But she talked me into it. So I said, okay, fine. She goes, come on, you can meet them because, the people that your parents sold the house to, they got a divorce, they moved away, and now they're having a lot of issues where they're about to, they're separated and there's a lot of fighting and a lot of the kids are all separated and living with different people and all that since they moved into the house, all this negativity, breaking up families and stuff. And it's weird too because when we lived there, my parents was fighting. My father was blaming us for stuff like, you remember I told you about the story about my brother's foot went through the ceiling and he saw that man? Well, there was an attic above that doorway. And almost every night that freaking attic door would open up, but it's way up because the old houses, they're like, the ceilings are really higher up. Even if we stood on a chair, we wouldn't be able to reach it. But my father would blame us, like, who keeps opening up this, we'll keep saying, Dad, it's not us, we don't open it. And every time you had to walk by that attic doorway or whatever you want to call it there, it was scary. I was so scared every time we would go up. All of us kids were scared every time we had to go upstairs into our bedrooms, because you feel like somebody's watching you from the minute you start walking up them stairs. My friend wanted me to meet her new friends, so we went over there, and I guess they always left the doors unlocked. So me and my girlfriend, we walked in and she kept saying, anybody here? And nobody was there. And Chris, my friend, said, all the time, they always leave the door unlocked when they take off. And there was no car in the driveway or anything. And then, so she said, hey, you want to clean their house and surprise them? I said, I'd really rather just leave, because I felt uncomfortable there because, nobody was there. I thought that was rude. And then plus, the house gives me the spooks. But anyways, she goes, come on. So she turns on the vacuum. So we're turning on, so she's doing the rug and I'm just standing there. And then I said, did you hear that? And she said, what? I said, turn off the vacuum. So she turned it off and we could hear footsteps like somebody was walking upstairs, right? And she goes, oh my God, I do hear that. And I'm like, I'm getting out of here. She found out later because I said to her later, I said, well, maybe somebody was home. Maybe somebody was upstairs. So she said that she did talk to somebody later and they were definitely not home. And I'm like, well, it don't really surprise me because we used to hear walking around all the time and things moving and stuff. But going back to like when we lived there, the incident happened to my mother too. But first, could you hit that thumbs up and subscribe and hit that little bell to be notified? And share if you're willing to share. And remember, leave a comment down below if you have a haunted house story to tell me. I would be really curious to read it. Mother experienced something too, like my father's father passed away. He used to live there with us when we first moved in, when my parents got married. And my mother was sleeping on the living room couch, and off from the living room, like I told you before, there were bedrooms. Well, there's a bedroom there off the living room. And she's on the couch, and she heard a noise, so she opened up her eyes, and she sees my father's father walking out of the bedroom and then walking into the living room, into the dining room, and went right out to the kitchen. And that used to be his bedroom. That's where he would stay. It's in that bedroom. But like I said, he was already dead when my mother saw him. So that creeped her out, and she was telling my father that night. But that's a story that happened to her. Now, this story is about my sister that I've been dying to tell you guys. But first, I would like to remind you that I have this offer if you want a reading for $25 off if you buy a gift certificate for the holidays from November 2nd, 2020 to January 2nd, 2021. You have to use up the gift certificate though, because it expires after March 2nd, 2021. And remember, you can use it for yourself or give it away to somebody that you care about. But you have to mention, don't forget this, you have to mention that you saw this on my YouTube channel. Okay, back to my sister. I would say I'm about 6 or 8 years younger than my sister because she was the very oldest. And she was smoking cigarettes at the time. And I was probably about 11 or 12 at the time. And she said to me, we're downstairs, in the dining room area. And she says, Megan, could you run upstairs in my bedroom and get my cigarettes? They're on my dresser. I'm like, I really don't want to. You know how kids are. She goes, please, please. I'm like, fine. Because I said I didn't really want to, not because I was being lazy. It's because I hated going up there by myself. I hated it. But I did it for her. And so I went into her bedroom and I'm looking. Now, I have to say, too, I was terrified of mirrors. And I never understood why I was terrified of mirrors, but I really was. I used to cover them up with towels or sheets or whatever because I was just scared that somebody was going to look back at me. It was like a paranoia thing I had with mirrors for some reason. I don't know. Maybe something did happen and I blacked it out. I don't know, but I was terrified of mirrors. Anyway, so I go over to her dresser, and back in them days, we had like old dressers with these big mirrors on them. And so I happened to, I saw the cigarettes, and then I looked over at the mirror, and I got a little scared, But anyways, then I remember reaching for the cigarettes. I remember reaching for them. But then the next thing I knew, I was standing in front of her closet door. And my hand was on the doorknob, right? And I felt, I don't know, it's really weird. I felt like I was there, but then I wasn't there. Can't really explain it. And it felt like time just stopped. So I'm looking at the doorknob, and I remember thinking for a split second, like I was scared to look inside that closet, but I almost felt like I had no control over my body, and I started turning the knob, right? So I opened the door slowly. I remember opening it very slow, right? And then I looked, and my sister was inside the closet looking right at me, and I'm looking right at her face, and I'm confused for that split second. I'm confused, like, how did my sister get up here so fast, and why is she in the closet? Them are the thoughts that I had really quick. And when I was thinking about this, I heard my sister from down in the living room, in the dining room area, down there, yell up, Megan, what's taking you so long? Where's my cigarettes? And that kind of snapped me out of staring at her. And I looked over to the hallway where I heard my sister's voice coming from. And then I'm kind of snapping out of it, and I looked back at the closet and nothing was there. What the heck happened? How do you explain that? I don't know. But I'll never forget that to the day I die. That was so freaky. So freaking freaky. I couldn't understand how my sister was in the closet, but then yet she was downstairs. The thing is, I don't think it was my sister that was in the closet, but oh my God, it was so freaky. I'll never forget that. And I ran down the stairs. I didn't even have her cigarettes. I ran downstairs, and my sister said, where's my cigarettes? I'm like, I don't know. And I told her, I said, I saw you in the closet. And she said, what are you talking about? And she was so upset because she was really concentrating on her cigarettes that she said, never mind, I'll just go upstairs and get my own cigarettes, you know? But that, I don't know. But that's what happened. That was the weirdest thing. I'll never forget that. And that's my haunted house story so far. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. But before we disconnect, I would like to thank my viewers and my client, Margie H. from Florida, Jenny P. from Massachusetts, Anna C. from Massachusetts, Diana from California, Will from California, Julie from Missouri, Judy from South Carolina, and Jess from Maui, and Crystal H. from New York City, New City, New York, Jason K. from Texas, and oh my God, Amber K. from Texas. My mind just went blank. I can't even read. Anyway, talk to you guys later. Stay healthy, safe. God bless you all. Please pass that white light forward. And remember, our loved ones are around us every single day. All you got to do is ask. Bye-bye.